Hey folks, another good ride today. If you're new to Zwift racing or you haven't raced yet, then this is, of all the videos I've made, this is the video that you should be watching. Today's race was relatively simple tactically, but a couple of textbook moves occurred which we got to see and were quite simple to understand. I want to point them out to you and show them to you. I think this is probably more typical of a regular Zwift race, so very good learning points from today. Today's race was kind of almost like a crit race. This loop is very short, the LaGuardia loop reverse. I think we did 12 laps of it. Not that many, I think 50 of us started, and not that many people posted to Zwift Power. So a quick tip, again, if you're new, go ahead and go ahead to zwiftpower.com and link up to your Zwift profile. All your results from both your rides and your races will get posted to this website, which makes it a little bit easier to understand the stats and compares you to other riders and gives you some other interesting kind of trends. And let's get into this race and see what happened. Quick start as usual for a Zwift race, more like a mountain bike start really. And I guess the four categories come together on the slip road, and then we get going. Pretty quickly we break out to a lead group of about 12 guys, and then that 12 guys stays together for quite a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the video and bring you into where the action starts happening. So right here, we're just coming up this little climb, still on lap 1. Got this this rider off the very front there on the yellow green Tron bike, who's now putting a bit of a sprint down. It's the first lap, and so there's not a whole lot of panic in the bunch, and not a whole lot of people looking to chase him down. But I'm there and I'm feeling okay, and I figured, look, I don't want to ride in a bunch the whole race. Let's try and string this out a little bit. So I put down 500 or 600 watts there, and I've left it a little bit too long to actually be able to bridge the gap by myself. So I kind of run out of gas around about here, and a couple of guys have come with me. I also did that little attack from the front of the group, which it's much harder to make stick than coming from behind, as we'll see a bit later on in this race. So I wasn't fully trying to catch him. I didn't want to blow myself up on the first lap, not knowing really how strong he is. And the whole group come with me. So have I made a mistake by dragging the whole group along? Probably not. It's good to just shake these guys together and see if we can get working a little bit better together to catch that guy in the front. What I didn't know at the time is that we wouldn't see that guy again until something like the 8th lap. So he did pretty well, but the group also worked well to catch him. Join me here at the end of the 7th lap. The guy that made the break is something like 24 seconds ahead still, but something else starts happening here though as we come down onto the start-finish straight, and that's that we get strung out. And you see there's a couple of A riders up in the front there who are really going for it. Now this is an interesting part of the course. There's a little bit of a downhill here, and then as you come up through the start-finish banner, it's a bit of a climb, and that's where riders tend to sit up a little bit, but the climb continues, and you need to power on over the top into another descent in order to stay with everyone and do well on this section of the course. My positioning is not good at all. I start that part of the section really at the back, and I'm unable to join that front group. Even though I come through on the climb there and I keep pushing on over, it's too late. That move started before the previous turn, quite a ways away. And at this speed and this effort, I use my drafting boost there to see what I can do, but I'm not going to catch these guys. There's one B rider ahead of us. That's the rider who got away. We just caught him now, I think. So he's no longer a threat. The guys that have made the break are A riders, and so I'm not really in the same race as them. I'm not that concerned if they ride away from us, but it has kicked our group into action. And now, as you can see, we're a bit more strung out down the road, and there's a bit more going on in this race finally. So there are two more moves to look at in this race, both made by the same person. We're coming down on the same stretch of road now, finishing lap 10. I've done a little bit better in my positioning. Nobody's way too far ahead of me. There's no move that's started on this stretch of road. You see this guy coming through now, Christian Moberg, absolutely nails it. I mean, he's up at 10 watts per kilo through the start finish there. He's going to continue on all the way up and over. It's quite hard, I think, to stay away on the descent, the slight descent that happens after the top of this little crest, but he does a really good job and sticks at about 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds ahead of our group. But he never increases it, and we actually end up catching him a little bit later on. But that was a really great move. As you saw, he came through from the back, so none of us really saw it or anticipated it or had a chance to watch it happening and then think about what we were going to do. Before we knew it, he was past us. And we were all already putting out 350 or something on the climb. He's probably putting out 500, 600 on the climb. It's quite hard to then just increase and put down that amount, well, more than that amount of effort to catch him over the crest. So it was a really, really good move. Maybe started a little bit late, but he made it stick. And now he has to recover and try and stay away. You can see him there, Moberg, 7 seconds ahead of us. Right, we're coming up to the last corner of the race, back down to that start-finish straight. We've caught Christian Moberg. There he is, right next to me right now, and two interesting things happen here. Somebody starts to go pretty early. An A rider starts to go about now. You can see him on the mini-map with that red dot just taking off. And that pays off, and he goes on to win the race. Everybody else kind of eventually gets to standing up, including me. I'm using my power up. And off we go. Not able to put out too much. But look what happens here. There's Christian again, coming through from the back, just as he did last time, pretty much in the same place as he did last time. And he made up a couple of spots from doing that attack once again. I guess that's his tactic, and it's a good one, which is to drop to the back and just attack through from the back. If he had gone a little bit earlier, he maybe would have made up a couple extra places, but we had only just caught him, and he was fighting to the end. It wasn't like he was relaxing and waiting for us to catch up. Maybe if he had done that and given up. I think his gap ahead of us was only ever something like 8 seconds, and he wasn't increasing it. He could have held on to the end potentially, but you know, only he'll know how his body feels and what kind of a decision to make in that situation. So yeah, interesting race. A couple of good things happened. Christian certainly had a good ride, and I didn't do very much, but I got to see a few things, so that was fun. All right, see you next time.